Hi everyone and welcome back to your weekly update on the reserve list. The hottest selling cards on the reserve list this week, November 25th to December 2nd of 2023. Now in today's video we have some crazy stuff going on with speculation on the reserve list and possible unbannings. So stay tuned as we go through our top 10 cards. There's probably a lot you want to know about. Now here we are popping into the number 10 position this week, and it is Sanctum. That's right guys. Now when you take a look at this Urza Saga block card and you realize it still had 29 sales this week, which worked out to a total sales volume of $7,163. Now the average price for this card is $246.99. The market price is $237.10, and of course €167 and some change to get that card into your house. But with this card here in Canada, it's anywhere from $300 to $400 Canadian for a near mint copy of this amazing card. And with new enchantments always coming up, you have to be ready for the fact that this card could shoot up in value in the future, so it's something to pay attention to. Now let's go ahead now and let's jump down to the number 9 card. Remember, the markets are kind of crazy, so a card like Thrall Champion hitting the board shouldn't come as much shock or surprise because it's so inexpensive, and 34 copies barely scratches the surface of how many of this card were actually printed. That's only $102 in actual volume. A single player could have done this with just a scratch and sniff card, winning $100 at some local lottery. Now when I look at the card here, I've always loved the card. I love Thralls in general, and the possibility that this card could become something big later on down the road is always in the back of my mind because it can tap to take control of other creatures that are Thralls. You add that to shapeshifters and changelings, you get a bit of a mix-up. It's a great card and very inexpensive for players. Now when we're taking a look at our next card, this one's going to come as a shock to you guys. It comes from Mirage, and that is Lion's Eye Diamond. Now it had 44 sales, or a total sales volume of $668. This is insane to think about how much value is there when you see cards like this finally dropping in price and trending down and making itself just more available for players. It kind of attracts a new audience to the card, a new potential of players who say, you know what, it's pretty inexpensive compared to other products out there right now for Magic. Maybe I'll finally buy myself a copy. Average price is only $447.27 US. The market price $380.71, €320 and some change, and around $600 here in Canada. But if you're looking for a heavily played copy, you should check out things like TCG Player because it can save yourself 20 to 30% on the price of the card if you just want to play with it. And I hope you guys will always be using my TCG affiliate link found in the description of this video. So let's take a look at our next card from Fallen Empires again, and this is Rainbow Veil. Now this one, unlike Thrall Champion, it does see quite a bit of play. It falls into the number 7 position this week with 56 sales, or a total sales volume of only $367.92. Now, when you look at this card and realize it can tap for any color mana, any color, that attracts a lot of players. Yes, passing this card off is never an ideal thing, but it still has a lot of fun packed into it when you know how to use it correctly. And with the average price being only $6.57, this is a very inexpensive card for players to buy still. Considering it used to be a $20, $25 card, players can save a lot of money. The market price is only $6.63. It's around $8 here in Canada for a near mint copy, assuming you can find one. Most LGSs don't usually have this card in stock anymore, so keep your eye out if you're looking for a copy. Again, TCG Player, Card Market, Card Kingdom, better choices to buy the card. You'll probably save yourself a lot of money, especially if you're fattening up your order with other cards. Now, our next card is Winding Canyons, and that comes from Weatherlight. I noticed some sales starting to trickle in on this with Black Friday, and this thing seems to have continued on. Now, this card, of course, is not banned, nor are any of the cards I've showed you so far, but coming into the number 6 position with 51 sales and a total sales volume of $1,000 plus, that's still pretty big for a card like Winding Canyons. That's a lot of players who are potentially using this card inside of a commander deck, generally speaking, and being able to pop creatures out with flash is no joke when you're not expecting it, and players seldom pay attention to what lands can do. Look at all the man lands now. cards like this just get forgotten in the backdrop. And the fact it's actually risen in value a little bit over the last couple of months, up to $19.99 is the average. Market price is $18.83. And of course, €12.41, around $26 here in Canada. It's a card to keep your eye on. But now we've got down here to the number 5 slot. We've slaughtered ourselves halfway through the video already, guys. And out of the blue from Visions, it's the Anvil of Bog Garden. I know, I can't believe this thing is back on the list. Came out of nowhere. 56 sales this week, or total sales volume. Look at that number. $1,888.88. That's if, of course, they were all near mint, which they weren't, but we're generalizing the values to give you some kind of idea of how much sales volume these cards represent. Now, the average price for this card is $33.75 US. The market price is $32.44, or €19.56. And here in Canada, it's actually up to about $42 Canadian for a near mint copy. But again, guys, if you need a play copy of this card, you can save yourself so much money by just playing it down to a heavily played, moderately played, and save 20 to 30%. Remember, with the reserve list right now, this is still a buyer's market. This is a place where you can actually make and save a lot of money by just making some deals with players. I would actually avoid eBay on cards like this right now. Those shipping, import fees, and taxes are just crazy right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at our number 4 card. May come as a bit of a surprise to some people. It's from Revised. It's Volcano Island. That's right, guys. Those flash sales and stuff that came up on Cyber Monday had this thing hit 63 sales that I could track. That's $40,257 for this card. Can you believe that? This is a revised copy. This thing had a print run of like 600 million plus cards for Revised. And Volcano Island is still this sought after. Well, most dual lands are, let's face it. Players who go after these cards are definitely playing them. These aren't the guys who are going for the BGS 9.5 copies. These are players who are just saving on the fact this card used to be a lot higher. And it still hasn't bottomed out that far. It's been trickling on a very slow ride down because players paid top dollar for this card. But the fact we're seeing this many sales blows my mind. It's one of those things you look back and go, I remember that card being $10, and look where it's at now. But here we're going to talk about our next card. It comes in to the number 3 position this week. Fast Bond is back, and it had a ridiculous amount of sales this week, right before the possible banning or unbanning announcement we're expecting on Monday. 74 sales. You guys can see it right here. That's $1,849 of cash flow into this card. The average price, $24.99 US. The market price is $23.46. It is €16.21 to get this card into your house. And here in Canada, you're looking at around $35 Canadian for a near mint copy, but the prices really get chopped down if you go for the moderately to heavily played, if you can find them. But the fact that players are speculating on the idea that this card is actually going to get unbanned caused a surge in sales. I know a couple of stores who reported it and said 10 plus copies sold at a single sitting, and that is crazy. So now let's get down though to the number 2 card. This one might throw you guys off a bit as well. This is Wheel of Fortune, but look at the number. 119 sales. That is $34,480 in sales volume. And again, this card's been rising in price a little bit, just nickel and diming at $1 or $2, but it's slowly rising in price. So keep an eye on that market space. $289.75 US, $259.99 US for the average price and the market price. Now, of course, we've got €159.26 to get this card into your house. Yeah, I know, I'm off by a penny. And here in Canada, it's around $350 for a moderately played, maybe $250 if you can find a heavily played copy. Now, let's take a look at our number 1 card, which is Savannah. And look at the sales volume again. 134 sales, or a total sales volume of $40,602. This card again nickel and diming upward right now, $1 or $2, and you can see the average price is $303.85. We've got a market price of $297.44, €228.78 to get this card in your house. $450 Canadian for a near mint copy, all the way up to $550 for a near mint copy. So go ahead and look for the heavily played copies. There are some stores that have them in there for around the $270 mark. The reserve list continues to see strong sales week over week, not just because of the Black Friday and Cyber Monday, But because the prices are so low, some players are finally taking advantage of some of the deals that are available, picking up some of the staples they've always wanted, or are speculating on the possible usage of those cards later on and rising prices, which they think they'll be able to flip at later years. Remember, a lot of these actions take over a decade to finally come to the culmination of what a player expects the value of a card to be. There are players out there who play the long game, and they are looking years ahead of what most players realize the game is going to go to. They are taking this whole sky is falling approach from all the other players they hear it from, and they're taking that quiet opportunity to buy these cards one by one. And players need to remember that if the market turns and things come back around, some of these cards which are at readily available prices right now may not always be there. So I want to thank you all for hanging out with me today. Thanks a lot for tuning into the channel. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I look forward to seeing you guys all for another video tomorrow. Tune in for the reserve list conversation tonight on our live stream, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys can all make it. Of course, it's also a Patreon giveaway for all my patrons and YouTube membership members. So I'll see you guys there. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow for another video. A big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons we have here on the channel supporting each and every day. It's amazing to see so many people supporting the channel. Thanks again, everyone. And of course, we'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. You made it to the end. I thought I would try something new today. It took a little longer to put it all together like everything else I've been trying to do, but it's okay. It's that learning curve. It's the learning curve. And here at the Ramble Jamble, I can tell you, as a person who is not tech savvy, this is so frustrating to try to learn new things that actually, you're trying to make it actually happen on screen and line everything up is ridiculous. It's not my strong suit at all, okay? But the idea that I'm trying makes me feel good. You got to learn new things. If you're not learning a new skill, if you're not trying to better yourself, what's the point? That's what I'm thinking of it anyway, because it makes me feel good to say that I'm feeling that way about it, because it was so frustrating. But that's okay. That's okay. There's no coffee here. There's nothing, just us, you, me, shop smart, shop S-smart, and the fact that I had fun doing it still, and that's what matters. Guys, have a great day. Thanks a lot for hanging out. I'll see you guys soon. We'll see what people think, because the fact that that many sales, I can't help. Okay, hold on. I'm not done yet. Fast Bond. What is going on? The fact that people actually think, again, that it might become unbanned is making me really happy that I have the 8 near mint copies that I have, plus whatever ones I have inside decks. It blows my mind because that was so many sales. Volcano Island, and let's not forget Savannah again with over 100 sales. Freak me out. Now, by the time you're seeing this filming, though, it could have been higher. I'm always off by one day, but that's okay. I just include those, later on. I'll let people know if anything crazy happens, but this is where we're at. Monday, we're going to find out what happens to those bannings. It's going to, if Fast Bond becomes unbanned, I'm jumping onto a video right away. There'll be a bonus video if that card became unbanned for some reason. It just will. It'll just blow my mind. Guys, have a great one. We'll see you soon.